Number 953, PLN's introduction, RUPTL. Introduction, background, first, second, legal foundation, third, vision and mission of the company, fourth, purpose and target of RUPTL preparation, fifth, RUPTL preparation process and person in charge, sixth, scope and business area, seven, RUPTL document systematics. This is on the power plants name. Background, PLN, here in after, referred to as PLN as a state-owned electricity company that plans and implements power projects with long lead times. Naturally needs to have a long-term power system development program, Plan 1. A long-term power system development plan, namely 10 years, is required in order to accommodate the long lead time of power project. The need for long-time power system development is driven by PLN's need to have an efficient investment plan. In the sense of that, PLN will implement a power project based on sound planning. This is important because investment decisions in the electric power industry will require long-term benefits. To achieve this, PLN prepares a planning document for the next 10 years called an Electricity Supply Business Plan, or RUPTL. RUPTL is a guideline document for the development of an optimal power system in PLN's business areas for the next 10 years, which is prepared to achieve certain goals and is based on certain politics and planning criteria. Thus, the implementation of electric power project outside the RUPTL can be avoided, which can reduce the efficiency of the company's investment. Apart from being driven by PLN's own internal needs to have a RUPTL, this planning document was also created to comply with the provisions stipulated in Government Regulation Number 14 of 2012 concerning business activities for the provision of electricity as amended by Government Regulation Number 23 of 2014. Preparation of RUPTL 2021 to 2030 also driven by the emergence of the need to update the 2019 to 2028 RUPTL. After paying attention to the realization of the electric power load and the realization of the completion of several power plant projects, such as LPFTP, PLTA, PLTU, and other generators, both PLN project and electricity project from power plant developers, better known as independent power producer, IPP, as well as other indicators affecting supply and demand for electricity, such as economic growth. Furthermore, in line with law number 30/29, where the provincial government is required to make a region electricity general plan, or RUKD, then in this 2021 to 2030 RUPTL, there is also an electricity system plan per province. However, the planning of optimization process is still carried out per electricity system if there is already an interconnection network to optimize resource utilization and allocation. The provincial planning annex will be useful to show what PLN has planned for each of these provinces. The 2021 to 2030 RUPTL has considered the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on projected electricity sales, the recovery period for sales of customer sectors affected by the pandemic and infrastructure development plans, including generators, transmissions, and substations. In this RUPTL, there are several generator projects that have been committed to be carried out by PLN and IPP. It is also possible to purchase excess power according to PLN's needs and cooperation for the utilization of transmission infrastructure owned by both PLN and private companies through a power wheeling scheme according to existing regulations is also possible. The majority of transmission projects are carried out by PLN as project infrastructure. but specifically for some transmission links that connect an IPP generator to the nearest network, IPP can build them. RUPTL will be evaluated periodically to adjust to changes in several key parameters, which form the basis for preparing the power system development plan. Thus, RUPTL can also present an up-to-date system development plan and can be used as a guideline for the implementation of electric power project. Third, vision and mission of the company. In Article 3 of the Articles of Association of PLN 28, it is stated that the purpose and field of business of PLN is to carry out the business of providing electricity for the public interest in sufficient quantity and quality, as well as to cultivate profits and carry out government assignments in the electricity sector in order to support development by implementing limited liability company principles. With regard to PLN's objectives and business fields mentioned above, PLN's vision is as follows: to become the leading electricity company in Southeast Asia and first customer choice for energy solutions. In order to carry out the government's assignment to meet the demand for electric power, and in accordance with this vision, PLN will run the electricity business and other related fields oriented towards customer satisfaction, corporate members, and shareholders, making electricity as a medium to improve the quality of people's lives, striving for electric power to become a driver of economic activity, carrying out environmentally sound business activities. Fourth, objectives and targets of preparation of RUPTL. In essence, the purpose of preparing RUPTL is to provide guidelines and references for the development of PLN's electric power facilities in meeting the demand for electricity in its business areas in a more efficient, planned, and environmentally sound manner, so that company inefficiencies can be avoided from the planning stage. The RUPTL target to be achieved in the next 10 years nationally meeting the needs for capacity and electricity, utilizing new and renewable energy, increasing the efficiency and performance of electric power system from the beginning planning stage, which includes meeting the needs for capacity and electricity every year by the desired level of reliability at least cost. Achievement of the better energy mix for electricity generation to reduce the cost of supply as reflected by the reduction in the use of fuel oil in line with the government's target. Achievement of utilization of new and renewable energy in accordance with government programs, especially geothermal, hydropower, and other renewable energies such as solar, wind, biomass, waste, and so on. Achievement of the electrification ratio outlined in the RQN, achieving better reliability and quality of electricity, achievement of lower transmission and distribution network losses. Fifth, RUPTL process and its responsibilities. The preparation of RUPTL 2021 to 2030 at PLN is made by the following process: RKN 2019 to 2038, which were submitted by the Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources on 1st August 2019, in use as one of the considerations, particularly regarding government policies regarding planning electricity, primary energy utilization policy, environmental protection policy, reserve margin policy, and target electrification ratio. The population growth projection uses data from the 2015 to 2045 Indonesian population projection book. Results of the 2018 Inter-Census Population Survey from Bappenas BPS UNAPF. As for the projection of the number of people per household, it refers to Statistics Indonesia 2014 BPS. PLN headquarters determines basic policies and assumptions after taking into account the RKN and other government policies, such as assumptions on economic growth, population growth, and population, inflation, electrification ratio target, and EVT development targets. The economic growth projection takes into account the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on economic sectors and the recovery time for each related sector. The assumption of economic growth projection use two scenarios, optimistic and moderate. The projected assumptions for economic growth per province and per field sector were obtained from UGM consultants, which are in line with the low scenario national economic growth assumptions from BAPENAS. The inflation rate assumption uses the inflation assumption in the 2019 to 2038 RUKN. The inflation rate is used to project the average tariff for each customer class in each province. Assumptions for projected growth and population data are in the book Indonesian Population Projection 2015 to 2045, result of the inter-census population survey from BAPENAS, BPS, UNPF in 2018. Meanwhile, the assumption for the number of people per household refers to Statistics Indonesia 2014, BPS. The electrification ratio figure refers to the target electrification ratio in the 2019 to 2038 RUKN, as well as the inflation projection. Taking into account these basic assumptions, as well as sales realization data, waiting lists of large customers and government programs such as special economic zone, industrial zones, priority tourism destinations, super priority tourism destinations, maritime centers, and integrated fisheries, and the national cross-border post electricity network. Then the electricity load forecast begins with the bottom-up process where the electricity load per province is calculated by the PLN regional distribution main unit with the supervision of the PLN headquarters. The demand forecast per province is made using the econometric regulation method using the statistical-based simple E application, taking into account the projected economic growth, population target, electrification ratio, electricity tariffs, potential large customers, actual electricity sales data, number of subscribers, and connected power. Then regression model equation is formed to project future growth initials. Furthermore, on the basis of the demand forecast, a generation development plan, a transmission and submission plan, a distribution plan, and an isolated power system development plan are made. This preparation is carried out by the PLN regional distributional P2B, P3BS main unit and the PLN headquarters according to their respective responsibilities. The next phase of planning consolidation involving PLN regional distributional P2B, P3BS main unit and PLN headquarters is intended to verify and agree on demand forecast, capacity balance and substation plans, transmission plans, and isolated system generator plans produced by PLN regional main units, distribution P2B, P3BS catered during this planning workshop, verification of the COD4 schedule of PLN and IPP power plants projected was also carried out. Estimation of natural gas and LNG CNG supplies, as well as needs and lease generator programs to overcome short-term power shortages. Consolidation of system planning products is in all PLN business areas into a draft RUPTL. The application for approval of the RUPTL to the Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources is carried out by the PLN directors. This RUPTL will then become a reference for the preparation of a 5-year company long-term plan as well as guidelines for PLN's annual investment decisions in the company's work plan and budget. Fix scope and business area. The business license for the supply of electricity for PLN has been stipulated by the head of the Investment Coordinating Board on behalf of the Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources in accordance with Decree number 25 UPTL LMDM 2016, dated 27th September 2016, which was amended by decree of the head of the Investment Coordinating Board number 2 UPTL PMDM 2018, dated 18 January 2018. PLN's business area, which covers the entire territory of the Republic of Indonesia, except for those determined by the government as business area for the other state-owned enterprises, regional-owned enterprises, private enterprises for cooperative. The scope of the 2021 to 2030 RUPTL covers all PLN business areas stipulated by the decree of the head of BKPM, except for other business areas in Indonesia. This RUPTL will explain the plan for the development of electric power in all PLN business area. The preparation of RUPTL is divided into several operating areas, including Sumatra, Java, Madura, and Bali, Kalimantan, Sulawesi, Maluku, Papua, and Nusa Tenggara. In addition, this RUPTL also displays the plan for the development of the electric power system per province. The following is an explanation of the business area by region according to the current PLN organization. Sumatra and Kalimantan. Regional Sumatra's business area includes PLN business areas on Sumatra Island and the surrounding islands, including Bangka, Belitung, Layu, Aceh, Lago, except Batam Island. This region is served by PLN main unit for Aceh region, PLN main unit for North Sumatra region, PLN main units for West Sumatra region, PLN main units for Riau and Riau Island region, PLN main units for South Sumatra, Jambi, Bangkuku region, PLN main unit for Ramping distribution, PLN main unit for Bangka Belitung region, and PLN main unit for distribution main unit for regional distribution are responsible for managing the distribution network, customers, and small-scale generators in small isolated systems. Meanwhile, the management of the transmission network and substations is handled by PLN UIP-3BS. PLN's power plants on the island of Sumatra are basically managed by PLN North Sumatra Generation Main Unit and PLN South Sumatra Generation Main Unit, except for several power plants in isolated system managed by PLN Regional Main Units. The business area in Kalimantan includes the PLN business area on Kalimantan Island. The surrounding small island include Tarakan. This business area is served by PLN main unit for West Kalimantan region, PLN main unit for South Kalimantan and Central Kalimantan region, PLN main unit for East Kalimantan and North Kalimantan region, and PLN main units for generation and distribution Kalimantan. The management of the generation transmission network and substations is under the PLN Kalimantan generation and distribution main unit, while the distribution network and customers are under the region main unit PLN, Java, Madura, and Bali region. The business area in Java, Madura, and Bali region are served by PLN main unit for distribution of Greater Jakarta, PLN main unit for Banten distribution, PLN main unit for West Java distribution, and PLN main unit for Central Java and Yogyakarta special region distribution, PLN East Java distribution main unit, and PLN Bali distribution main unit. PLN main distribution unit only manages the distribution network, customers, and small-scale and island generators. The management of the transmission network and substation is carried out by PLN Central Java Load Control Unit and PLN West Java Transmission Main Unit, PLN Central Java Transmission Main Unit, PLN East Java and Valley Transmission Main Unit. Generation management is carried out by PLN Main Unit, 10 inches, Tanjung Jati Generation, PT Indonesia Power, and PT Pambangkitan Jawa Bali. Sulawesi, Maluku, Papua, and Satungara regions. The business area in Sulawesi includes PLN business area on Sulawesi Island and the small island around it. The business area in Sulawesi are served by PLN North Sulawesi, Central Sulawesi, and Gorontalo main units. South Sulawesi, Southeast Sulawesi, and West Sulawesi main units, and Sulawesi generation and distribution main units. The management of the generation transmission network and substation is under the PLN Sulawesi main generation and distribution unit, while the distribution network and customers are under the regional main unit PLN. The business area in Maluku, Papua, and Satungara include PLN's business area in the Maluku Islands, Papua, and Satungara. The Maluku Islands are served by PLN main units for Maluku and North Maluku region. PLN business area in Papua are served by PLN main unit for Papua and West Papua. And business areas in the Nusa Tenggara Island are served by PLN main unit for West Nusa Tenggara and PLN main unit for West Nusa Tenggara, East Nusa Tenggara. The management of generators, transmission and substation networks, distribution networks, and customers is under the regional main unit PLN. The PLN business area map is shown in figure 1-2. System metrics of RUPTL document. This RUPTL document is compiled in the following systematic way. Chapter 1 contains an introduction which includes background, legal basis, vision, and mission, ensures company goals and objectives of RUPTL preparation process, and person in charge, scope and business area, and RUPTL document systematics. Chapter 2 describes the strategy for the development of electricity supply and sales of electricity infrastructure. Chapter 3 explains the availability of energy sources and strategy for their use, both for new and renewable energy and non-renewable energy. Chapter 4 describes the business conditions for the supply of electricity, both sales conditions, addition of customers, revenue from the sale of electricity, and the installed capacity of electricity, which includes generation, transmission, submission, and distribution. Chapter 5 describes the electricity supply plan for 2021 to 2030, including planning criteria and policies, basic assumptions, changes to power plant project against 2019 to 2028 RUPTL, projections of electricity sales and number of customers, development plans for power plants, transmission and distribution, as well as rural electricity, projections of energy mix and fuel demand, as well as projections of greenhouse gas GHG emissions. Chapter 6 describes investment indications of funding and basic costs of providing electricity. Chapter 7 describes long-term risk analysis and mitigation measures. Chapter 8 provides a conclusion. Furthermore, supply plans for several large prospective consumers, power development by province, and risk analysis are provided in the